Welcome to episode 77 on Southeast Oklahoma City. This is probably going to be one of my least favorite episodes of Oklahoma City, in that Southeast Oklahoma City still has a ways to go before it becomes an adventurous, exciting place to invest. Southeast Oklahoma City is signature for it being total linear appreciation and really a cash flow market, and really not a whole lot of cash flow. Generally, properties that are bought there stay the same value for decades at a time in some cases. However, we're going to get into some charts today here. So if you own property in Southeast Oklahoma City, or you've been looking at deals in Southeast Oklahoma City, these charts will help you decide where to buy and under what conditions to buy, and if you already have property in there, to know if you should sell or if you should hold on to it. So the first thing we're going to get to here is the InfoSpark screen. I've taken a chart here of the sales price median and broken that out to Oklahoma City as a whole, and then I've also broken it into Southeast Oklahoma City and Del City, which is a city within Southeast Oklahoma City. So as we see in this chart here, the top bar here is Oklahoma City. Okay, you can see the trend there going from 2007, which is on the far left-hand corner of this chart, all the way to 2020 on the right-hand side. So you can see back in 2007, Oklahoma City was at $116,000 median sales price for their property. Southeast Oklahoma City was at $67,000 and Del City at $53,000. Fast forward all the way to February of 2020, and we've got $163,000 median sales price in Oklahoma City and $106,000 in Southeast Oklahoma City, and Del City hanging in at $97,000 median sales price. One of the things I do want to point out here is look at the appreciation metric here from 2013 on to 2020. Okay, we see that even though we're going up and down and fluctuating with the seasons here, we've got a consistent gain over the long haul. Okay, and that's right in line with our 3.5% appreciation that's been occurring pretty regularly here in Oklahoma City for a long while. We did see some drops here. If you can see some static in the like 2010 area, 2010 to 2011, we kind of stagnated, and you can see that kind of play out right here. But then from 2012 to 2013, we just see a steady gain all across Oklahoma City and even in the southeast side. If we get to homes for sale, we can see, again, our inventory shortage, which has been driving the prices up in Oklahoma City. We see that same play out, but not as pronounced here, just flatlined there. In fact, if I kill Oklahoma City, we then can see that we're still lowering in inventory as we go, with the red being Southeast Oklahoma City and Del City. Let's get on over to the map itself so you understand kind of where we're talking about here. So we've got Oklahoma City coming up on old Google Maps. Right over here, Southeast Oklahoma City. This is what we're going to be talking about. That's east of I-35, north of 240, and south of I-40. Okay, that is our metric here, with Del City being kind of a rectangle shape here. All right, I want to get over to our heat map here. So we're going to zoom in and talk a little bit about the appreciation heat map for Southeast Oklahoma City. If I zoom back out, I want to show you, so this is Oklahoma City downtown here. So we've got a good spread of blue being our gains and red being our losses here, and the white being just consistent, right in line with the 2.5 or 3% appreciation that linear markets get. Linear being not a cyclical market, so we don't go through these huge rises and sinks here. We stay pretty consistent, and that's what classifies us as a linear market. So when you're investing, you can invest in cyclical and you can invest in linear market. And then we've got these things called hybrid markets, which kind of exist in between. And we at some point may lean towards that hybrid market. But let's get into the Southeast side for those that own property or they're looking at property. Here we go. Hot places to look at. I-35 and I-44. This is our appreciation mecca for Southeast Oklahoma City. If you look very close, this neighborhood right here, which is Lumberman 3, that's right at Southeast 44 and west of South Bryant Avenue. Okay, this area right here, you could pick up properties in the 70,000 to 110,000 range. And if we look at the rent, which we've looked at earlier today, there's not a whole lot of properties for rent in that area, so you've got good demand still for buy and holds. So good signs there. Okay, going over to Del City, we see a pretty stagnation in Del City. In fact, in North Del City, look at this. North of I-40, you've got just a decline in home values. Okay, so that's happening for two reasons. One, you've got just the inventory and the just poverty. Okay, the area itself doesn't have a whole lot of businesses moving in there. The retail apocalypse has kind of finished off a lot of the retail in that area. And then number two, Del City has some crazy laws. They have a city inspection, a housing inspection program, they call it. And every single time you change utilities to a different person's name, so that would be water. So when you change water to your next tenant's name, they require an inspection. And in fact, even if you keep the water in your name, you try to get around this and just keep the water in your name and put a new tenant in there, you run up against a city ordinance that every single time the occupant changes, they want a city official walking through your house to make sure you meet the checklist. The problem is that they only give you the first 10 items on their list for you to check through. After that, it's a list that they have that they don't even provide to you. And they even say, please call this number for more information. We've talked with them, and they don't have a list that they provide you. They just tell you that we'll send an inspector over there and we'll tell you what's wrong with the property. But this is stuff like, is the property free of all obvious code complaints? Is the exterior of the property in reasonable condition? Does it have peeling paint, rotting wood, etc.? Is the interior of the property in reasonable condition? Unsanitary conditions, insect infestation, holes in walls, holes in doors, etc. I can't tell you how many times we go on a rental property that's been performing well and the tenants are very happy that has some of these small things like holes in doors and that kind of thing. And so something to consider when investing in Del City. You want to make sure your numbers look really good so that you can make up for this extra burden that's placed on your property manager or on you for every time you do a tenant turnover. You've got to make sure. Now, the good side of that is that it prevents slumlords from happening. And that's why those laws were passed, is to try to prevent a situation in which a landlord lets a property degrade too much and then they try to just put another tenant in there. The system is designed to prevent that property from just degrading and degrading and degrading, and then a new person moving in, and just because it's cheap rent, they end up living in a third world condition. So that's the positive side of it. The negative side is the implementation of that policy is kind of messed up. So they've got the right idea, just the wrong way of going about it. Also, one thing that I want to pull up, let's see if I can get back into here. Okay, so back to the map. We've got Del City here. You might say, so what's going on over there? Well, we've got the Air Force Base here. Okay, this is Tinker Air Force Base. Tinker Air Force Base brings in about $4.5 billion in GDP or just economic impact to Oklahoma City. And that translates to about 17,000 civilian jobs and another, I think, 5,000 jobs. Let's pull up our little sheet here. So this is something that Tinker Air Force Base releases every year, the economic impact statement for fiscal year 2019. The 2020 will be coming out at the end of the year. But this is for last year's. This is very recent. So they're talking about active duty personnel, 5,104 base jobs. And then also they've got the listing of how many people live on base, which is really cool. So you can pull up this document. Active duty, let's see, where does it list that? Oh yeah, living off base, 4,310 people, which is kind of interesting because the Section 8 voucher program is almost the exact same amount as the active duty personnel in Oklahoma City. You've got about 4,300 Section 8 government vouchers for housing, and you also have about 4,300 active duty Air Force personnel with on-base housing allowance to be able to go into the market, and they both pay similar amounts of rent. So you've got about 9,000 government-funded tenants, and in some cases they're buying. Of course, some of these active duty are buying, and some of the Section 8 there's actually a very small portion goes towards buying a home. So something to consider. But as far as exciting stuff, well, let's go back to that heat map one more time. So Southeast Oklahoma City, again, you can see your Air Force bases here. North of that is Midwest City. Okay, we didn't really talk in detail about Midwest City, but Midwest City is very similar to like Northeast Oklahoma City and Southeast Oklahoma City. It's kind of a hybrid between the two, in that you're very linear. Okay, Northeast has Lincoln Terrace. You've got the VA Medical Center. You've got a lot of great things happening about it. Midwest City has got the Air Force Base and Rose State College, and that's about it going on there. Not a whole lot of jobs driving the appreciation and demand for people to move there. So we see a lot of flatline values in Midwest City. Other than that, there's really not a whole lot to talk about other than that trend of moving upward. If we go back to our InfoSparks, let's go back into our, I want to see the price per square foot. Let's see. Price per square foot, look at this. This is from 2007 all the way to 2020. You can see this solid gain here. Okay, this is nothing crazy exciting, but over the last, from 2007 to 2020, you're looking at about a 15 to 18% gain over the last, 13 years. If I look at our gains over the last 5 years, if you would have invested in Southeast Oklahoma City the last 5 years, you're still looking at a 15% gain from 2015. I think that's actually looking at, coming in at $79 a square foot. So we're at between $70 to $79 per square foot is what you can expect on the median over there in Southeast Oklahoma City. So hope you find this video informational. Not a whole lot going on again in Southeast Oklahoma City. It's generally been a pretty boring market. Not a whole lot of jobs over there, more retail, and then you've got some factory positions and mainly just service-oriented jobs over there, but by no means any large movements of medical facilities and that kind of thing. So if you're looking to invest in Oklahoma City and you're not from here, you need to email me. Let me know what's going on. We have a property alert tab. Got some of the hottest real estate on market and off market that we're going to be sending through that. So, but you're not going to get it unless you sign up. So make sure you sign up for that and we'll be able to send that out to you. But thanks for watching. Continue to subscribe. We're going to be talking about all kinds of things throughout this year to keep you on the inside track for what's going on in one of the most exciting markets in the Midwest. Middle of America exploding in interest and value with over 20,000 people moving here a year. This is an exciting place to invest when it comes to linear market investing. Thanks for watching.
For more information and to listen or watch online, visit OKCRealEstateShow.com.